Hello there guys, welcome to one of my videos. On this video I am going to be giving you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference ahead of the Aston Villa Manchester United game tomorrow night, 8:15 kickoff at Villa Park. Obviously, this morning I give you my starting 11 prediction for the game, and also yesterday I gave you my preview for the game. So, Solskjaer has said quite a few stuff during his press conference. He did his press conference earlier on today. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has warned our players to be beware of Jack Grealish, because Jack Grealish is a very, very good player for Aston Villa. Don't forget he scored in the game at Old Trafford earlier on in the season when it did end 2-2. Now, as you all know, Jack Grealish is one of our priority targets. There has been recent reports coming out saying that Jack Grealish to Manchester United is a done deal. And this was actually stemming from Tim Sherwood, who's a former Aston Villa boss. But actually, Jack Grealish's agent has denied that Grealish has, agreed to come to Manchester United. Now, Jack Grealish is valued at around £50 million. Villa did say a while back that they want around 80 million for Jack Grealish. Now, up until this point, Jack Grealish has spent the entirety of his career with Aston Villa. He's been a Villa player since the age of 6, and he's been in their senior squad since 2014, and since then has become an integral part of our team, of Aston Villa's team, and he's flourished under Dean Smith's guidance. Jack Grealish has got a contract with Aston Villa until 2023. So we are still looking to get him on the board. And Dean Smith, the Aston Villa boss, has confirmed that Grealish will be playing in this game tomorrow, because Grealish did sustain a knock in Villa's 2-0 loss to Liverpool, but he is now okay, is Jack Grealish. He said the other week that he'd allegedly purchased an house near our Carrington training base, and he told his friends about this. And he says, reflecting on that, he was close to coming to Manchester United, So we are still looking to get Jack Grealish on the board. So he says our players have got to be beware of Jack Grealish. So he's warned our players about this. Also, during the press conference, Solskjaer had mentioned David De Gea, because David De Gea is about to overtake Peter Schmeichel on appearances. And Solskjaer did say that David De Gea has been the best goalkeeper in the world, or one of the best goalkeepers in the world for the last 9 or 10 years. Of course, this has been now David De Gea's 9th season at Manchester United. He's actually approaching his 10th year at the football club. So he hasn't been a long servant at Manchester United, as David De Gea. Like I said before, I think David De Gea has had 7 good years out of the 9 years he's been here, because I think in the last couple of years, David De Gea has been a liability, reflecting on the calamitous mistakes he has made. But it's fantastic, what David De Gea has achieved at the football club, because he's won everything here domestically. He's also, won individual awards with the club, reflecting on his good run of performances. And I think, has he made 400, or is it nearly 400 appearances now for us in all competitions? When David De Gea does eventually leave the football club, I think he'll go back to Spain, because the main explanations is, because his family's from Spain, girlfriend from Spain. He began his footballing career in Spain, and he was also born in Spain. And back in 2015, David De Gea was close to joining Real Madrid, but due to a fax machine, the deal never materialised. So Solskjaer still insists, he's still the best goalkeeper in the world. He's still the best goalkeeper in the world. Also, Solskjaer has demanded maximum points. He says we've got to win all our 5 remaining games to get qualification for the Champions League. So he says if we win these 5 games, Man United will finish in the top 4. As it stands at the moment, I think we are 2 points behind top 4. But, we have got to win our 5 remaining games. Also, Solskjaer was asked about Nathan Ake from Bournemouth. because there was reports coming out recently saying that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer allegedly had a conversation with Nathan Ake after our 5-2 win against Bournemouth. And it said he allegedly said to him that we need a left-footed centre-half. But actually, no, Solskjaer has laughed this off. So he's played down suggestions. He said, we've got 7 centre-halves in the team, so he don't know where this came from. But reportedly, yeah, he said he had negotiations with Nathan Ake. I heard that he's on our agenda, is Nathan Ake from Bournemouth. Of course, this has been Nathan Ake's 3rd season with Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth did pay around, was it £20 million for him from Chelsea back in 2017. And I think he's got now, is it like 2 years remaining on his contract with Bournemouth. He also had loan spells with Reading and Watford. I think when Chelsea sold him, they inserted a buyback option on his contract or something like that. But I think Bournemouth would demand around £40 million if there was to let Nathan Ake go. So yeah, so he was also asked about Nathan Ake. Also too, he was asked about, Nemanja Matic. Because of course it broke out earlier on this week, saying that Nemanja Matic had signed a 3-year contract at Manchester United, which will keep him at the club until 2023. It wasn't so long ago that we extended 12 months on his contract. We give him a contract extension for 12 months. But I think reflecting on his good run of performances, we have decided to give him this new 3-year contract because Matic has become an integral part of the team. This has now been Matic's 3rd season at Manchester United. We got him from Chelsea in 2017 for around £48 million. And, we've criticised him in the past, but earlier on this season, Matic was behind the likes of Fred McTominay and Andres Pereira. But all of a sudden now he has become first choice since the resumption of the season. And I think Solskjaer's delighted that Matic had signed a 3-year contract recently. He was also asked about McTominay as well. McTominay learning from Nemanja Matic because since the resumption of the season, McTominay hasn't really played, has he? But before, lockdown, McTominay was playing regularly, wasn't he? Don't forget he scored that goal against Manchester City. And McTominay is a lot younger than Nemanja Matic, so I think he'll learn some stuff off Matic, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had said. Also, too, Solskjaer feels vindicated in his decision to let Romelu Lukaku and Alexis Sanchez leave the football club. Of course, we saw Lukaku leave the football club last summer. He went to Inter Milan after, he endured 2 years at Manchester United. In his 2 years with us, he scored 42 goals in 96 games in all competitions. And he endured an exceptional first season, but he didn't really replicate that in his second season because he actually lost his place in the team. We sold Lukaku, we got £70 million for him, so we more or less, recouped the money that were paid for him from Everton in 2017. Some people say we made a mistake by getting rid of Lukaku. Sanchez, he went to Inter Milan on loan last summer, didn't he? We know that Sanchez is going to be staying at Inter Milan for the remainder of this season because his loan recently got extended. Inter Milan did get Sanchez on a 10-month loan last summer. But Inter Milan have got no option to buy Sanchez, or there is no obligation to buy Alexis Sanchez. But I don't think Inter Milan will be getting him permanent. But there again, on the other hand, I've heard that Inter Milan are trying to get him on a permanent transfer. We need to get rid of Sanchez permanently, because it will free up our wage bill completely. But there again, we're going to find it very, very difficult reflecting on his substantial wages, because his wages at Man United are like 400 grand a week, potentially rising up to 500 grand a week based on the image rights and the bonuses. And despite the fact that he's on loan at Inter Milan, we're still paying the vast majority of his wages. We're still paying him like 300 grand a week, and Inter Milan are paying like the other £100,000 a week and all of that. So these are some of the stuff Solskjaer had mentioned in his press conference. He also, at the beginning of the press conference, was talking a bit about Aston Villa. He says, that they are quite good from set plays. He also said, they're very, very powerful on the counter-attack, so we need to be, aware of this as well. But yeah, Villa are really in a bad vein of form. Aston Villa are winless, I think, in their last 9 games. They are sitting in the relegation zone, and like Solskjaer was, the person said to Solskjaer at the beginning of the press conference, we're fighting for the top 4 and Villa are facing a relegation battle and that. But, to be honest with you, we have got a very, very good record against Aston Villa, like I said on my preview. We've only lost one of our last 42 Premier League games against them. And I think that defeat came back in 2010 when Agbonihol scored and we lost 1-0. We are unbeaten in our last 20 away games against Villa. The last time we lost at Villa Park was back in 1995, so that's now 25 years ago. So we have got a very, very good record against Aston Villa. Villa, would have felt hard done by in that Liverpool game. Liverpool did win it 2-0, but, Villa dominated, large portions of that game. They also had their chances, did Aston Villa. So, in reality, they should have really got something out of that game. Villa have got a few injuries, like I mentioned. Tyrone Mings recently sustained an injury, but he should be involved. He also scored in the 2-2 game early on the season, did Tyrone Mings. Grealish should be available. They've got Tom Eaton out. They've got Wesley out, and they've also got Matthew Targett out. So Villa have still got a few injuries. But I think, looking at it, Villa are going to get relegated. This is what I think is going to happen. We've had some news on Victor Lindelof as well. I think he got asked about this during the press conference, Solskjaer. Solskjaer's actually come out and said that Victor Lindelof is a doubt for the game tomorrow. So if Victor Lindelof can't play, then I presume we'll play Eric Bailly ahead of Victor Lindelof alongside Harry Maguire. But as you all know, in the last 3 league games, Solskjaer has gone with the same lineup, so he hasn't made any changes. And that's the first time we've done that since November 2006, But, if Lindelof's available, then I think, he'll probably go with the same team and that. He'll go, with the same team. We did very, very well in his last game, like I mentioned. We beat Bournemouth by 5-2. It was the first time we'd scored 5 goals in the Premier League. It was the first time we'd scored 5 goals in the Premier League under Solskjaer since the 5-1 win against Cardiff. And that was, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first game as Manchester United manager. And we are unbeaten now in our last 16 games in all competitions. I think we are unbeaten in our last 9 league games, and this is our best vein of form since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. So if we beat Aston Villa tomorrow, we will extend our unbeaten run to 17 games in all competitions. But, Solskjaer recently challenged us to go unbeaten for the remainder of the season. I think, we can do this. Solskjaer did say, though, in his press conference before the Bournemouth game that we haven't got an easy run in. We have still got points to prove. We have still got points to prove against the teams that we struggled against earlier on in the season. So we've got something to prove against Villa. We need to prove something against Southampton because we're due with them early on in the season. We've got a point to prove against West Ham and also to Crystal Palace. We've got Leicester on the final day of the season. That could also be decisive, who finishes in the top 4. But like I said to you, we need to get qualification for the Champions League because Solskjaer was recently talking about the importance of Champions League qualification. Of course, we need qualification for the Champions League because, it'll help us have more of a competitive summer transfer market and plus we'll generate money. Also, too, the FA Cup and the Europa League are 2 priorities for us because that's a chance for us winning 2 trophies under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the FA Cup and the Europa League. We are into the semi-finals of the FA Cup and we're also into, we're more or less into the last 8 of the Europa League because we are 5-0 up against Lask from the first leg. So if we could win at least one of them, it would be a memorable first full season for Solskjaer and it would be a great achievement for Manchester United. It really, really would. Like I said, Solskjaer is unsure how much he's going to get to spend in the summer transfer window. He's not sure how much, he's going to get to spend because of the financial impact of the coronavirus pandemic. I was reading up earlier on that Man United and other leading clubs will decide on their transfer budgets when a decision has been made, for when supporters can go back to games. That's when, I think the transfer budgets will be revealed in that. But, Solskjaer's already said I think he wants to make around 2 or 3 signings in the summer transfer window. Because I did say our expectations next season will be to challenge for the Premier League title. Because, analysing it at the moment, City strides ahead of us and Liverpool strides ahead of us. But this has now been the 7th season we have failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. We are the most successful team in England, because we have won 20 titles, 13 of them Premier Leagues. But I'm very, very convinced that we can win a title under Solskjaer. And, if we can do this, it will be our 21st title in total. But Solskjaer will definitely be Manchester United manager next season, even if we weren't to get qualification for the Champions League. Because I did say he does deserve at least another season at Man United because, this has been his first full season at the club. And he does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows to Solskjaer because it is a transition period and it has been a transition period for a while. Solskjaer has now been at Manchester United for 18 months. So he has been at the football club a year and a half. And he has been permanent Manchester United manager for around 15 months. And I've definitely seen a lot of improvements under him. Definitely now. I think players have really, really improved. I think also too, we've improved in the transfer market under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Solskjaer's recommended 5 good players into the football club so far and spent just over £200 million on them. So that's very, very good that our recruitment policies improved under him. He's also promoted the youth very, very well. The young players have been given their opportunities. Mason Greenwood's, of course, been flourishing. Mason Greenwood's got 15 goals this season for us. And this has been his first season in the senior squad for Man United. Well, his first full season in the senior squad. Don't forget he scored twice against Bournemouth. He also scored in the 3-0 win against Brighton. So 3 goals in his last 2 starts is in scintillating form, is Mason Greenwood. And Solskjaer was recently talking about Mason Greenwood, saying that he's ready to play for England at senior level. And, he says Mason Greenwood's a better finisher than Wayne Rooney was at the same age. He's only, 18 or 19 is Mason Greenwood. He's done really, really well. Brandon Williams, he's been given his chances throughout the course of this season, but we know for the remainder of this season, Luke Shaw's going to remain our first choice left back. There's some young players, on the other hand, that have found game time very, very difficult in that. But more or less, everybody's been given their chances, because when Solskjaer got appointed in as Man United manager, he said everybody, will get their chances to express themselves, including the young players. He's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into the football club as well. That's a positive. I think over 20 players have left Manchester United since Solskjaer came into the football club. We've also extended a lot of players' contracts as well since Solskjaer came in. We're still facing a dilemma regarding the contracts because we've still got around, 8 players' contracts that are due to expire next year. So Solskjaer needs to make a decision on those 8 players. And those 8 players are Paul Pogba. His contract expires next year, but there's also an option of a further year. Juan Mata, his contract expires next year. Don't forget there was recent stories coming from the Turkish press saying that Fenerbahce were interested in him. Lee Grant, Sergio Romero, Marcus Rojo, Tuan Zebe. Their contracts also expire next year, so too do Jesse Lingard's and Andres Pereira's. So we are still facing a dilemma regarding the contracts and all of that. But yeah, and like I said, the summer transfer window will be Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. But Solskjaer knows he's got the backing of Ed Woodward and he's also got the backing of the Glazers. Earlier on in the season, Solskjaer was really close to getting sacked as Manchester United manager because earlier on in the season, we'd enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for 30 years. And at that point, there was talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in. And there was also talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming into the football club as well. But I've already gone through with you, what saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United. Definitely the signing of Bruno Fernandes has saved his job because he's made a difference in the team. Also, too, with how good we've done against the big six sides this season, you can say that's also saved his job because we've taken 18 points against the big six sides this season. Also, too, I think with him being a club legend, that could also play a part in it as well, because Solskjaer was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance and that. And this unbeaten run also plays a part in it. Our last defeat was 2-0 at home to Burnley. It was 2-0 at home to Burnley in that. Earlier on in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial career, he had worked out his transfer strategy and he said he wants to recruit young British talents to Manchester United. And 3 of the 5 players that he has recommended in so far, of course, are British. Of course, are British and that. But I think, Solskjaer has identified the areas where he wants to strengthen up in the Manchester United squad, because there's still deficiencies where we need to strengthen up. Now, Solskjaer recently confirmed our transfer priorities. He said he wants to recommend a right winger in, he wants to recommend the striker in, and he also wants to recommend the centre defensive midfielder in. But he says he wants to recommend a right winger and a striker in before he recommends a central defender in, because there's still reports saying that Solskjaer wants to recommend a central defender in to the football club. Now, as you all know, our net debt is just over 429 million, because the other month it said that our debt had risen up by almost 130 million pounds. Woodward had confirmed this. It said the coronavirus pandemic had cost us around £28 million or something like that. But Woodward said we will remain competitive in the summer transfer market, but he said we won't do business as usual in the summer transfer market and that. But, we've just got to get the right calibre players in to the football club. Like I said, in the last 7 years, we have been playing catch-up. We've had different managers with different philosophies. We spent close to the £1 billion range on players, and people say, reflect on the money we've spent, we should be where Liverpool are, or minimum where City are. We've also got players on big contracts at the club. We've recruited over 30-odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era. So we spent a hell of a lot of money. And, Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. 3 managers have been sacked, and that was Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. But like I've said to you, we haven't dominated English football since the Alex Ferguson era. Ferguson endured 26 years at Manchester United, endured 22 years of success because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the club. Ferguson did win a total of 38 major honours and all of that. And I don't think anyone will replicate Ferguson's legacy, and I don't think anyone will last as long as Ferguson did. But I think we can be back being competitive under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Solskjaer has now gained that managerial experience, reflects on how long he's been here. Man United is the 3rd club in his managerial career. It's his 3rd club in his managerial career and all of that. Before he was with us, he was at Molde, won a couple of Norwegian titles with them, and before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. He enjoyed a very, very short tenure with Cardiff. The main explanation Solskjaer got sacked in Cardiff is because, he ended up getting Cardiff relegated. Don't forget as well, Solskjaer managed the Manchester United reserve team, so he did watch from this team in this day and age grow and develop. One thing Solskjaer's also confirmed for the summer, he will not be buying any rotten apples. He's going to avoid this. He warned our players the other week that he will not tolerate any rotten apples in the squad, of course. He will not tolerate any rotten apples in the squad. But the vast majority of these players are not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The vast majority of these players are Mourinho's, because Mourinho recommended 11 players into the club. Now let's put into the equation Solskjaer's inheriting the vast majority of them. There's still a few players here from the Van Gaal era. There's still matter here from the David Moyes era. I think there's still a few players here from the Alex Ferguson era. So let's just, put that into the equation. You already know the news regarding Jadon Sancho, don't you? Borussia Dortmund have said they still want over £100 million for Sancho. Borussia Dortmund have informed us that we've got until the 10th of August to sign Sancho or the deal is off. Sancho did say, though, if Dortmund refuse to let him leave, he will put a transfer request in. Because I think he wants to come to Manchester United, does Jadon Sancho. Don't forget Ian McGarry and Duncan Castles. They both came out last week and said that Sancho's agreed personal terms with Man United, and he said he's agreed a 5-year contract worth around £140,000 a week, but no fee has yet come to an agreement between Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund. And Borussia Dortmund's asking price seems to be the stumbling block. It really, really doesn't, all of that. So anyway, guys, that's your reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference. Everything else updated today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.